I am originally an aerospace engineer and then switched to become a shrimp farmer. I came across an idea that took the totally opposite approach and I fell in love with it. The idea was this. Hey, in nature, shrimp or fish is never alone. It's always in continuous interaction with the whole host of ecosystem. How about instead of suppressing and eliminating that ecosystem, we study it, we rebuild it, and we strengthen it inside a farm, and then put the shrimp and see what happens.
Welcome. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
I don't know anything about you or your product. And instead of asking you straight out what you do, I would like to know instead what makes you passionate about what you do.
To tell you what makes me passionate about what I do, I have to tell you what I do. So what I do is we develop, implement highly productive, sustainable, and profitable shrimp farms inspired by nature and relying on natural ecosystems. So we develop the technologies for that, we implement them, and we franchise them everywhere in the world. Why do I do that? I am originally an aerospace engineer and then switched to become a shrimp farmer. And one of the main reasons is that I've been in love with marine biology since I was young. And I've been working on engineering, on self-driving cars, on satellites, on airplane engineering, on a lot of what would look fancy to many people, but nothing of that could stir the joy that I would have by seeing some live fish and live shrimp jumping or swimming in front of me. So when I had the opportunity, or I came across just the idea of shrimp farming, I got instantly hooked into it. And then as a curious engineer and scientist, I started studying about almost all of the shrimp farming systems out there, the technologies, comparing between them and so on. And then I stumbled upon something totally different from what was happening. So to give you a little bit of background, what is happening in the industry of aquaculture in general, shrimp or fish and so on, is this. The farmer always tries to eliminate or suppress the natural component from the farm. Why? Because the worst nightmare for a farmer is to have a disease outbreak. Because the farmer puts a lot of money, effort, everything into raising his fish or shrimp or whatever. And then suddenly if a disease comes and kills everything, they lose. Some farmers literally go bankrupt. So the farmer mindset things like this. Hey, how do I minimize the risk of disease? The immediate way the immediate solution that comes to mind, I need to sterilize everything. So the most modern systems, actually, the highly sustainable RAS systems, what we call the high-tech RAS systems, they literally continuously sterilize the water with UV filtration, ozone sterilization, heavy steps of filtration, and so on. And the most traditional systems who cannot do that, they dump antibiotics, chemicals, disinfectants, and so on. I came across an idea that took the totally opposite approach and I fell in love with it. The idea was this. Hey, in nature, shrimp or fish is never alone. It's always in continuous interaction with the whole host of ecosystem. How about instead of suppressing and eliminating that ecosystem, we study it, we rebuild it, and we strengthen it inside a farm, and then put the shrimp and see what happens. I loved the idea. Being a lover of marine biology and so on, I love the idea of reproducing the natural ecosystem inside a farm and putting the shrimp in there and see what happens. And we joined our efforts, my co-founders and myself, and we took the idea from a backyard idea into a well-engineered, modular, scalable system, combining different technologies from AI, design engineering, patented designs and equipment, biotech with precision fermentation, and using components from the microecosystem from the sea, such as microalgae, plankton, and so on. And we did it. And when we did it, amazing things happened. We found ourselves reaching super high productivities, over 20 times more than traditional systems, at a fraction of the cost of our competitors.
That sounds like you had to try it out without any guarantees. It sounds like a risky business. Was it worth it from the beginning? Did you know it, or was it more a passion project? It still sounds to me like shrimp farming is not something many of our audience members would think of immediately. So that I'm curious about that early stage of you getting into it.
I was on the fireside chat about a day in the life of a founder, and then they were asking what would be a requirement for a founder eventually. How should a founder be, or what would be one of the components required for a person to be a founder? And then my answer was to be delusional. So I started this project being delusional that everything is gonna go work out fine. everything is going to be smooth, everything is going to be all right. And that was what fueled my first step, actually. But then so I literally quit my job, borrowed money, joined my co-founders together, and then we started this journey, completely delusional. We faced lots of hurdles, ups and downs, and so on. But then what matters is that when reality hits you, you have to stand your ground and find a way to deal with it anyway. And keep at least some delusion or hope that if I overcome this, then everything's gonna be all right. And then something else hits you, and then you keep saying, if I overcome this, then everything's gonna be all right. And that's how I jumped into the life of a founder of a startup.
Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.